Good evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. My name is Faraz Patel. We'd like to thank you, the viewer, for staying with us. I'd also like to thank my colleague Lukman Shadrack for taking you through that first part of the show. The ANC's Integrity Commission has recommended that over 90 of the party's members implicated in corruption and widespread state capture be excluded from the party's election candidate list. Now, according to the City Press newspaper, which had a report on Sunday, it mentioned that 97 implicated members, 5 were cleared by the Integrity Commission, and the other 62 have been referred for disciplinary hearings. Joining us now to unpack this, I'd like to welcome political analyst, Professor Dirk Kotze. Professor, good day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Hilaal Live.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Prof, this is going to be a massive acid test, isn't it, for the leadership of the ANC, given that there are a vast number of these ANC members who have been implicated and are now, of course, before that Integrity Commission.
Yes, that is indeed so. It is a very important test for the ANC. It's the first time, actually, that they have to confront this on such a big scale. In the past, it was always individuals, but this time it's actually a whole cluster of members that are implicated by this or affected by this. And it is the first time that the Integrity Commission actually is playing such a prominent role in this. In the past, they had some sessions with individual persons, but it never led to this point where they are at the moment.
Prof, the president of the ANC himself is sitting with a bit of a cloud on his head. Now, of course, the public protector has cleared him, SARS has cleared him with regards to Phala Phala, but there are those, the critics of him, that still have him associated to what, of course, occurred 4 years ago. Him as a president, there has to be a sense of leadership from he himself, isn't there, in trying to clamp down on corruption, given that when he came into the ascendancy 6 years ago, he was dubbed as this anti-corruption crusader. For him personally, there's a huge role for him, isn't it, in trying to make sure that this is dealt with in the best way ahead of the elections?
Yes, you are very much correct with that. And I think, although it's not popular to say it, he actually took the lead in this. He himself go first of all without being asked to go to the Integrity Commission. They cleared him of Phala Phala together with the fact that he wasn't impeached in Parliament. That was voted out. The fact that the SARS cleared him, that the Reserve Bank cleared him, that the different police institutions cleared him, that the public protector cleared him. So this, strictly speaking, there's no evidence against him. So in that sense, I think there's many people who still believe it despite all of this. And they will, I think, not be convinced by anything that is not implicated. So what is also, I think, what he allowed as president is that it reached this point of where the Integrity Commission is playing such a prominent role, where the step-aside rule that he applied to persons like Ace Magashule, that was actually still in place, although very few people actually refer to it at the moment. But that's those who have not been found guilty are actually, and who have not been cleared by the Integrity Commission, must step aside. And that's in effect what the policy that is going to apply to this position or this situation with respect to the nominations is that they have to withdraw or step aside. And that is done under the leadership of President Ramaphosa. He might not be as outspoken as many people would like to see in public, but he is indeed implementing or allowing this or encouraging that these policies be implemented. In the case of President Zuma, it did not happen at all. Obviously, it was a different situation, but he is actually the first president who is doing this, President Ramaphosa.
Prof, talking about former President Zuma, 2 of former ministers that serve under him have now been suspended. Of course, one suspended from the National Assembly. That's Deepo Peters. And just yesterday, Nkosanathi Nhleko, the former police minister, I think both you and I know well, with regards to the whole firepool incident in Nkandla, he has now stepped away from the ANC. Is that the ANC trying to, in a way, clear up any supposed rotten apples that may have been associated with the party? Is there some sort of road to that happening with regards to these two developments that have happened in the last week?
Well, I would link it to that, but I would say it's not a clean sweep. It's not as if it is dealing with all the issues that's affected by it. There's still many issues that many people will say, but what about that? Why are these persons, specific persons, not being implicated or being treated in the same way or being disqualified for positions like members of parliament? So there's yes, it is indeed. There is a movement within the ANC, and I would say it's the first time that it happens on this scale, where almost 100 possible candidates are possibly disqualified. It hasn't been done. It hasn't happened before at any time. So in that sense, yes, it is. It is a new development within the ANC. But as I said, there are still many people who will say, but this is far from sufficient, and that it's the stronger action must be taken on them, against them, not simply being disqualified as candidates, and that there should be more outright statements being made by the leadership against this, and that is not happening. It is a very delicately managed process at the moment in order to avoid that those who are disqualified becomes actually opponents of the ANC and move over to parties like the MK party or the EFF or other parties.
Prof, public trust in the ANC, there's been a huge gap between that two over there. And I think citizens have every right to be that way, given that, you know, it's been 30 years and there's obviously been that sense of mistrust, especially in this last few years. How much of a threading of the needle will the ANC need to play in order to make sure that the members that they include for the National Assembly and the provincial list are those that are seen to be ethical? How much of work is the Integrity Commission, along with the top 7 of the ANC and members of the NEC, need to play this game very well in order to get back the trust of the public?
Well, I think for the moment, there's limited opportunities for that, or potential for that. I think they've done as much as they could do. For example, the way in which this nomination process has happened, it means it's not like in the past that it was simply nominations by the branches that move up the ladder to ultimately the national nominating committee and conference. But it has gone through a process of interviews that have been conducted with all the candidates. The fact that it looks like there's background checks being done, what we talk about now in terms of implication by the Zondo Commission's report, all of those things have been done. But it is still not changing drastically, I would say, the public perception. The public perception will only change once the ANC, as well as the other political parties, are back in parliament after the election, and they see a change in the conduct of these members. So the process is one element, and it can only address the public opinion or lack of public trust to some extent. It cannot deal with everything about public trust. Of course, public trust depends on that people see over time that there's a new trend, there's a new tendency, there's a new way of doing things, which cannot be changed just by one single event that or way approach that's being used for that particular point. So that's the predicament, the dilemma of the ANC. For this purpose, they've actually run out of time before the election. The only time when they will really be able to prove what they are now preaching is after the election. And it might be too late for many people within the ANC.
Prof. Kotze, thank you so much for joining us here on Hilaal Live. Always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much.
That's Professor Dirk Kotze, a political analyst, just breaking us down, of course, those members that are before the Integrity Commission. The ANC is currently in an NEC meeting for the next 2 days. Interesting to see what's going to come out from that, if anything does come out of it. Do stay tuned to Hilaal Live. I'll be back after this break.